Hey guys, Mike Loves Nature here, and today I'm going to talk to you about my milk frogs. I also have some basic care tips on how to take care of these guys, and a story on how we saved 2 from a pet store. So we set up the enclosure about a week before the frogs were bought. We knew we wanted frogs. We didn't know what kind of frogs we were going to get at the time, but we set up the enclosure for them, and we just kind of waited until we saw something we liked, and we ended up finding these Milky Tree Frogs, and have absolutely no regrets. So we were visiting a pet store on one of our days off, and we were checking out what they had. And one of the things I happened to notice when we were at the pet store is there was a couple of Milky Tree Frogs frantically jumping at the glass, and they didn't stick to it, which concerned me. So I ended up peering into this tank. Unfortunately, it was a bit higher, so I could see how people would miss it. I'm a tall guy, and I still had to get on my tippy toes to see into the tank, and my fiance couldn't even see in it, which is probably for the best, because when I peered into the tank, I saw 2 dead and moldy frogs. And I just felt terrible for the ones that were still jumping around because they were just covered in dirt. There was no water in the enclosure. They were pretty much on the verge of death. So I brought it to their attention that, these guys were in terrible conditions, and they did fix it pretty much immediately. So I'm proud of them for that. I did buy 2 of them because I was worried about their health. And I brought them home, and I also have no regrets. Honestly, it brought me so much joy that day to save these guys. I knew they would have died if I didn't walk into the store that day, just like the other ones that were in the tank, and I feel like I saved little lives today, so it made me feel pretty good inside. So they lay their eggs in tree holes. So the way I set up their enclosure was with a little container in the middle, which I also use to do my water changes, a little on that later, and a cup in the back for them to also go into and rinse off and do whatever they want to do. I also put moss all over the enclosure to help them not actually get dirty and clog their pores, because these frogs breathe through their skin. Milky Tree Frogs actually need to live in a very high humidity, so I actually use a fogger to help with that. I find they absolutely love it. Before I introduced the fogger, I was spraying the tank daily, a couple times a day, just to make sure everybody was staying wet and happy and clean. After I got the fogger, I found that they just absolutely livened up. Before I got the fogger, they would kind of curl up in themselves and just kind of chill on a leaf until the evening times, and then they would go looking for food. I find when you use the fogger, they're a lot more active throughout the day. I think they're less worried about drying out and that kind of stuff. I don't know if it's just because they're more comfortable here now. I have some extremely cute feeding clips if you're wondering what that's like. Wow, we just give them crickets for now, and this is some video of them eating that.
Only stocked on crickets, so I got 112 because they had a discount.
Ooh. Nom, 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 nom.
I'm pretty sure these guys are okay with still water, given that they live up in the trees. They lay their eggs in tree holes, so there's obviously not a lot of water flow, just replenishing water from frequent rain. So as long as you're watering the tank quite often, you don't need to worry about any kind of pump or flow of water in the tank. So one of the things I've been working on is the new tank that we're going to be giving them. Soon we'll be turning this 90-gallon tank here into the new Milky Frog Paradise. Stay tuned for that video. Any support you guys give me helps me out greatly. I'm trying to get known so I can help rescue as many animals as I can. I guess you could say the dream one day would be to have a large plot of land where I could build lots of huge enclosures for these animals to live at their best.
Each cricket's got their crickets.
Other than our friend up here.
This guy's trying to swallow one right now.
Nom, nom, nom.